like many others, I've done a lot of research, a lot of writing and that sort of thing. And of course, you need tools to do that. And the internet, especially during this COVID time, has been tremendous for supplying the information I need to write articles for North Toronto, West Toronto, Hong Kong Study Circle in particular. I write regularly there. The PSSC. This is my book that was published just last month, and doing maybe a dozen different one frame exhibits. So you got to get your information somewhere, and this is where I get my information, and that is just a small part of what's available on the internet. There's hundreds and hundreds of websites. So as philatelists, we wear many hats. Uh, and to do the things we want to do by wearing the different hats, we need resources. And these resources allow us to research, to gather, to organize, to publish or display uh, our findings. And we also need every once in a while a bit of luck to fall upon the right source for our information. There's millions of websites out there, and here are but a few. One that virtually everybody uses is Google, and this is the vanilla variety of Google. I suggest that I find that the advanced Google is very useful. If ever you've used the search feature in a large reference library, then Google, advanced Google is similar. It comes up to a page similar to this. We'll break down this page into parts so you can see it better. And the examples on the right are Google's examples. Somebody liked rat terriers, and they use that as their examples. And as you would do in a large research library, you can fill in these different boxes to zero in on what you're looking for. So all words, exact phrases, any of these words, none of these words, even things to do with ranges of numbers and that sort of thing. And the lower part of the screen, you can choose the language. Now, if you are multilingual, don't always search in English. There's stuff on the internet that is not translated into English. I am lucky in having French as my my first language, and oftentimes I find things on the French sites that is not available on the English sites. You can say search only in Finland or search only in Poland or that sort of thing. So you can really zero in using Google Advanced to find what you're looking for. Libraries. We're all familiar in this city, at least, with the Vincent Greene's Philatelic Research Library. Tremendous resource. COVID has slowed things down a little bit in personal visits, but Willow and the other people who man the library, don't like that word, man the library, people who function at the library will give you a hand. And if you check the website, you can find the hours. They do allow a certain number of visits under certain conditions. That's what they're there for. Their main raison d'être, is to do certification of British North American philatelic material, but they also serve the general philatelic population. Here's a sample of the search. You can search their catalog to see what they have. Here I tried small queens here at the top, and here's just a few of the 89 references that popped up when I did that. There's also our friends in the States, the American Philatelic Society Library, huge library. It's the largest nonprofit stamp collecting foundation in the world with over 30,000 members. The website is very useful. You can search their catalog on the website. I'm a member. I've been a member for many years. I have a small amount of money sitting in my account with them. And usually within 24 hours, if I ask for a photocopy or a scan of something, it's on my computer. So they're very, very helpful that way. Uh, Here's part of what they belong to. There's an organization in the World Philately, and here's the 13 different libraries that belong to this catalog of libraries. And when you search the APS in particular, it'll tell you where that particular volume or whatever you're looking for is available. If they have it, if they don't have it, then possibly one of these other 12 libraries in the world have it. Here's an example where I tried Canada Large Queens, and here they don't have these two, but here the Greene library is signaled here that has it. And the page went on, but I couldn't display everything. But it gives you an idea. Our library downtown, the library system in Canada, what does it say here? It says busiest urban public library system in the world. Tremendous. I've used them many times uh, in person before this stupid COVID thing was affecting us, uh, but also on their website. Now you can search the website, but if you want to download things, then you need to have a library card. One of the sites they allow you to access with your card is this JSTOR, and you might have seen this when you're doing searches on Google. Every once in a while, you see that this particular item that it's found is within this JSTOR website. The Toronto Library has a connection to that, and it's a storage area for digitizing journals going all the way back to 1665 and onwards. Here's an example I did. I searched Titanic, had 45,000 plus hits. Now, of course, if you use the advanced search, you can narrow that down to what you're looking for. But once you're on there, you can download the PDF to your computer and then do whatever you're going to do with that research document. So very, very useful. Um, I'll use this example. I got interested in this character, Pattinson, Richard Pattinson, a Canadian born in early Ontario during the colonial period, and did research on him. He became a soldier. He was governor of Heligoland, wherever the heck that is. And I'll use him as a few examples. And I was quite lucky. I was able to contact his great-great-great-granddaughter, who supplied this image of him in his uniform. And then I was able to produce this one framer here. And this is a cover that was addressed to him when he was governor of that small island, Heligoland, that was a British colony for a while. So another great area to search is Google Scholar. And it's free, again, and it indexes a tremendous number of academic journals, books, and theses. So if you're doing serious research, you might do yourself a favor by going and sniffing out Google Scholar. So I typed in Google Scholar just as an example, Pattinson in Heligoland, and lo and behold, here's one of quite a few articles where it'd be worthwhile to go and see what they have to say on my friend Pattinson. Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia has probably been used by everyone listening here. It's interesting in that they have tremendous number of articles written in 321 languages. And again, not everything's translated into English. So if you're good in another language, every once in a while you might want to search it under that language. Here here I went and looked for one of the battles that Pattinson was involved in, and in the Gwalior campaign, which took place in northern India, fighting the Sikhs, and he was involved in this battle. And there's information on Wikipedia on that particular battle. Uh, Advanced book search, that's another Google function. And here they've scanned over 25 million books. They figure there's still about 105 millions left to do, but at the rate they're going, they'll scan pretty well everything. So the results you get, a lot of times you can access the entire scan. If it's out of copyright and that sort of thing, you can see the entire scan. Sometimes you only get a preview. In other words, you get a few pages, but it gives you a good idea if that's a book or a journal or whatever it is you want to consult, and then you can go hunting for it in the library. Sometimes it's only a snippet view where you get 2 or 3 lines of text, and based on that you might say, well, I'll go to Robarts or the reference library or wherever it's found. And at times you only get the book, so you know there's a book out there that has those search terms in it, and then it's up to you to go and search that out. So what I did on Richard Pattinson, I searched cornet, which is a sub-lieutenant type rank, I suppose, in today's armed forces. Cornet Pattinson, Lieutenant Pattinson, Captain Pattinson, Major Pattinson. And then I lucked in and found some very useful references dealing with his military career. World Catalog. It's, as the word or the name implies, it's a catalog of a huge number of libraries that all of a sudden on this website you can search to see where that particular book you're looking for exists, and then arrange to have it brought in by interlibrary loan, or if you're lucky enough, it's within striking distance of where you live. Here in World Catalog, I tried, what did I try? Oh, I tried postage stamps of Tibet. And lo and behold, there were a couple of libraries here, and the page goes on that had that particular book. Unfortunately, it's 350 miles from my postal code, but there's always interlibrary loan. Or you might find it on ABE books and buy a copy. Now, Pattinson, of course, being a soldier, had medals. So I wanted to put together his medals, and his great-great-great-great-granddaughter has the medals, but unfortunately, they're all beat up and the ribbons have been eaten away by something. So I went hunting for images. And we're a very visual hobby, and we want and need images. So where do you get images? Well, Google comes to the rescue again. There's Google Images. So I typed in one of the battles he was in, the Gunzani battle and the medals, and Google came back with a huge number of images from dealers and auction sites and articles or wherever of the medals. So I went and I borrowed, in quotes, some of the images to form my group of images of his medals. Ancestry. Uh, we're dealing with, social philately. We're dealing with people. People were born, people died, people had careers, people lived different places, and Ancestry.ca is most helpful. And if you have a library card, you can go to a branch library and sign up and sit down for half an hour and search on Ancestry if you don't have your own private $300 subscription to Ancestry. Here is one of the results of Richard Pattinson. So I found out where when he was born, 1809. Where? Sandwich. Well, Sandwich is now Windsor in Essex County, and a whole bunch of other information. Newspapers. Oh, good God, newspapers. You know, a reporter is going to report on this. What happened? Who was there? Why did something happen? And that sort of thing. It'd be nice to be able to search newspapers that are contemporary to what you're looking for. Well, it turns out that you can, on Wikipedia, they have a list of newspapers around the world. Here's only a partial list that I could fit on the screen. And you can go, and sometimes on the website of the newspaper you can search them free. Other times you've got to subscribe, some sort of subscription to search them. But it's a good starting point. One tip about old newspapers I found, especially when I was doing things dealing with Hong Kong and that sort of thing, uh, they were desperate for news. And copyright didn't really exist back in the mid 1800s. So they would wait for the ships to arrive with the newspaper from the, let's say, Singapore, and they would copy what was in the Singapore or newspaper from wherever into their own newspaper. So if you're searching for something in that time period, sometimes searching newspaper in another country will give you what was happening in the country of interest if that newspaper is not available. Okay, a few tips. Uh, Immediately note where you found the information. God, did I suffer from this when I did my book? Uh, you know, I'd have this quote or something, and then I had to go back and find where the heck did I get that. So in the future, if I'm going to write something for publication, right away I note. Publishers want images 300 dots per inch. Uh, Write the image source and date in the file name. You know, each file, you can name a file. Now, when I started with computers a long, long time ago, I think that you were limited to 8 characters. Well, you're not limited to that today. You can go up to 255 characters. Don't suggest you go that far, but you got plenty of room to write this image. I got it in so-and-so page, whatever, on the website, and it's not copyright. So that stays with the image. Know that Microsoft Word, when I did my book, I did it in Word. I put in the 600 dot per inch and 1,200 dot per inch images, and Word just took a lot of the images and shrank them down. There are settings in Word that the editors I worked with taught me to turn off that will prevent that from happening. But then you get a file that's almost 3 gigabytes in size. So know that. And look to see, when you're on a website, I always look to see if there's an advanced search feature for what I was talking about previously that you can really zero in on what you're looking for. Oftentimes, the information you want is not in the language that you speak or understand. So what do? Well, you got Google again. Holy smokes, I tell you, these Google people should get some sort of prize. You got Google Translate. Now, lots of you may have already used Google Translate. And hopefully, if this works out, I'll give you a little demonstration about Google Translate. Now, specialist philatelic societies, you know, they'll list all sorts of information that you know you should scan to see if there's information there for what you're researching. You'd be quite surprised what they do give. Here's one that I belong to, that I write for, the Hong Kong Study Circle. There's a search feature, there's papers, there's publications, there's journal index and that sort of thing. And there's links. Worthwhile going to a specialist society for whatever you are specializing in or writing about and seeing what they have. A world of possibilities is out there. Thank you.